The road narrowed as it left the town behind. The pavement cracked into uneven patches, and weeds grew through the seams like they'd been there longer than the road itself. At the far end, beyond a leaning fence, stood a small house that didn't seem broken, just forgotten. The windows were closed. The door was intact. No lights. No sound. Behind the house, where the ground dipped slightly and rainwater once pooled, something moved. At first, it looked like wind disturbing tall grass. Then it moved again, slower, heavier. A golden retriever sat near the back wall. A chain ran from her collar to a rusted metal ring bolted into the concrete. It wasn't pulled tight. It didn't need to be. The length of it told its own story. A small, worn circle etched into the ground, repeated again and again. Pressed against her side was a puppy. The puppy was small enough that its body fit neatly beneath the curve of her chest. It didn't bark. It didn't cry. It only stayed close, breathing in short, steady bursts. The retriever lifted her head when footsteps crunched on gravel somewhere beyond the fence. She didn't stand. She didn't pull. She only watched. The woman stopped several steps away. She didn't approach quickly. She didn't speak. She stood still, letting the dogs notice her without pressure. Her jacket was thin, her boots worn at the edges. Nothing about her suggested urgency. She noticed the details first. An empty water bowl tipped slightly to one side. A food dish filled with dust and ants. The chain, thick and stiff, darkened by rust. The retriever's coat was still golden, but dull in places, pressed flat where she lay most often. Her ribs weren't sharp, but they were there if you looked closely. Not starving, just enduring. The puppy shifted once, stretching a leg, then tucked itself back in. The woman knelt slowly and set her bag on the ground. The sound of fabric brushing against concrete made the retriever tense for a moment. No growl, no bark, just a quiet stare. The woman sat down where she was. She didn't reach out. She didn't call to them. She waited. Minutes passed. The light shifted slightly as clouds moved overhead. Somewhere in the distance, a bird called once and went quiet again. The retriever's eyes moved from the woman's face to her hands, then back to the puppy. Finally, the woman reached into her bag, not toward the dogs, but toward herself, and pulled out a bottle of water. She poured it slowly into a collapsible bowl and placed it just within the edge of the chain's reach. Then she leaned back. The retriever stood. The chain lifted and clinked softly, stopping her after one careful step. She lowered her head and drank, pausing often, lifting her face to check the woman's position. The puppy followed, awkward and curious, pushing its nose into the bowl. The woman watched the water ripple and settle again. Only after they drank did the woman move closer. She stayed low, slow, careful not to step inside the worn circle the chain had made. Up close, she saw the collar, softened by time, shaped to the retriever's neck. And then she saw the lock. A padlock. Simple. Intact. Not something that broke by accident. The woman exhaled quietly through her nose. She reached out, stopping just short of touching the chain. The retriever leaned forward, sniffed, then hesitated. Her eyes flicked back to the puppy. The woman withdrew her hand. She understood. The back door of the house opened with a soft creak. Inside, the air was stale but dry. Dust lay undisturbed on the floor. No furniture. No footprints. No signs of anyone coming back. In one corner, the woman found an empty bag of dog food. The top had been rolled down tightly, as if someone had tried to make it last. She stood there longer than necessary. When she stepped back outside, the retriever was lying down again, her body curved protectively around the puppy. The chain rested against the ground. The woman sat nearby and made a call. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't rush. The sound of another vehicle came slowly, tires crunching over gravel. An older man stepped out, moving carefully, carrying a small metal toolbox. He didn't approach right away. He waited for the woman's nod. He knelt by the chain and examined the lock. The retriever stood, uncertain now, the puppy waking and pressing against her legs. The woman rested one hand flat against the ground, palm open. The man worked quietly. No sparks, no snapping metal, just pressure, patience, and a soft click. The chain fell slack. It didn't make a loud sound. The retriever didn't move. She looked down at the chain, then back at the wall she'd spent months facing. One step. She stopped. The puppy stepped forward first, crossing the invisible boundary without knowing it existed. The retriever followed slowly, testing the ground, waiting for resistance that didn't come. Her tail lifted slightly. Not wagging, just no longer low. They didn't head straight for the road. They walked in a small circle. The retriever sniffed grass that hadn't been worn flat, air that didn't smell like rust or concrete heat. The puppy explored everything, stopping often to look back. At the open gate, the retriever paused once more. She looked back, not at the house, but at the place where the chain lay. Then she turned away. The house was small and ordinary. A porch with chipped paint. A yard that hadn't been carefully planned, just lived in. The woman opened the door and stepped aside. The puppy crossed first, nails clicking softly on the floor. The retriever followed more slowly, placing each paw down as if the ground might change. It didn't. They explored room by room. The retriever checked corners and doorways. She circled back often to the puppy, making sure it stayed close. The woman sat on the floor, her back against the couch, doing nothing at all. Eventually, the retriever lay down nearby, close enough to see. As the sun lowered, the woman opened the back door. The yard was quiet, open, still. The retriever stepped outside and stood there for a long time, breathing. The puppy ran forward, then returned, checking. She followed. That night, the retriever slept beside the bed. The puppy disappeared into her chest. The house made soft sounds, settling wood, distant cars. Nothing demanded vigilance. Her head rested on the floor. Days passed quietly. The retriever learned where sunlight fell. The puppy learned where to wait. A lighter collar replaced the old one. The chain stayed folded in a box. Her coat lifted. Her posture softened. One afternoon, the woman sat on the porch steps. The retriever lay nearby. The puppy chased something invisible through the grass and collapsed beside its mother. The retriever didn't move to shield. She simply watched, her eyes closed.